All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we got to figure out our technical difficulties. I don't know what the heck technology. Sometimes it doesn't follow the rules. You know what I mean? Sometimes it does not follow the rules. So
like right now.
Is it following? Yeah, it's following the rules now.
Is it follow? Is it?
It's following the rules. We got it going on.
Hold
so
on.
I got it. I saw it.
All right.
Are you ready?
Oh, Pete. Geez, Louise. Have you heard that statement before? People say, "Geez, Louise."
Yeah, my grandmother used to say it.
Does she? All right. Well, I never heard. I just heard it recently, man. I'm not that old. I'm not.
Listen,
an old man.
You better bring your A game today because I'm ready. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm Scott.
I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate. Guys,
All
it's
right,
been
everybody.
crazy and wild and fun today. Don and I, as you saw, had technical difficulties we tried to figure out and solve. We got Mike McLaughlin giving us his wonderful Cedar Point story he's going to tell us today and let us a little about mortgage information, a little bit of what realtors see, and definitely some interesting stuff.
Two topics.
Yeah.
Two topics tonight.
Absolutely.
Things you never thought about when purchasing a home.
Absolutely.
There'll be a couple surprises in there.
It's going to be timely, too. Some timely stuff.
Timely, absolutely. That's what I like the most. And the other topic is, are rising prices the reason for the slowdown in the market at this time?
Yeah.
So we're going to go over that, too.
We'll get that through, too. So we got all kinds of people. We got Robert Gregory in the house. We got Jim Robleski, the Northman, the great Northman out here. We got all kinds of folks checking in. So, guys, Pat Neese in the house. We love having you. We love having you. We love having you. Like I said, what?
We got a couple Facebook users, too.
No Facebook users. There you go. Good old Facebook users. We have a producer somewhere. We're just not sure where she's at. That's all.
It's not unusual for her.
She's just wandering around like she's lost.
Doing something else.
She's like, oh, I'm
doing
here.
Doing things that have nothing to do with the show.
All right, so let's do this.
So Mel, so I heard there's some big news coming up this weekend. What is that big news?
I'm closing on my house on Friday.
You got to show them a smile. Come on. You're closing on your house in 2 days. There she is. Ladies and gentlemen, Mel is closing on her house. You bought where? Where'd you buy it?
Garden City.
Garden City is a house you lived in already?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea because you know the house pretty well and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
We're excited for you. We're really excited for you.
Is this the first home you're closing on?
It's my first ever house.
First ever home you've owned.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it awesome? That's what real estate's all about, helping people for their very first home. That's the most exciting part. We didn't have a lot to do with it, but hey,
it's
okay.
The confidence now. We gave her the confidence to move forward.
She always had a shoulder to cry on going through all that stuff. So as agents and as you being a purchaser so close to us, that going through that roller coaster, taking us along, it can be stressful and
it's very stressful.
Sometimes
super stressful. Now I say this, I tell
I
people
got
this
very
all the
close.
time. This is exactly what I tell people. I say, okay, look. I say, here's the thing. Let me put this out here for a minute too. Here's the thing that there's going to be stress. I'm going to try to not make it make it as little stress as possible, but you're going to have stress.
Absolutely.
Period. That's how it goes. There's nothing you can do about it. Right? Nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you do about it.
Speaking of stress, I want to get to my man, the legend, Mike McLaughlin from Academy Mortgage. Michael,
hey guys,
I heard you had some stress.
So speaking of bringing stress-free life, this guy helps bring a stress-free life.
Yes, he does.
You know?
Yes, he does.
we will take that stress away from you as a buyer. We will carry it for you, and we'll deliver you to the closing table like a little baby.
Michael, is that why you and I have less hair than everybody else? Is that why that is? You and I have less hair than everybody because we're carrying all their stress?
I tore it all out, and then once I was done with that, there wasn't nothing left to
He's
tear
like,
out.
son of a this is crap. So tell us about Cedar Point. You had an exciting Cedar Point.
Yeah, we did Sunday and Monday at Cedar Point, and my son Thomas is 15 now, and he has hit that point where now he loves it. So we go in the past, and some rides might be intimidating for him, and sometimes he would do other rides, but now it's to the point where he'll do more rides than I'll do. So it's like I have a little partner in crime for me when we go there.
But that's not what we're talking
awesome.
about. Michael, didn't you have something crazy happen to you while you're at the park?
Well, no, it didn't happen to me, but something crazy. Yeah, somebody got hurt on the Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point on Sunday, and someone standing in line, a piece of the Top Thrill Dragster came off while it was returning from the Top Thrill Dragster goes up and then comes back down.
400 feet up at a bazillion miles an hour.
Yeah, and then as it was coming back down and returning, something came off the ride and hit a lady in the head.
Jesus Christ. So, Mike, let me cut you off just for a second. Jeremy Burton in the house. Mel knows him. Dropped up his deposit the other day. Michael's helping him there too, I think. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one. But, yeah, new buyer. He knows all about the stresses. The poor young man was excited, and he's like, I hope they accept my offer. For like a whole night, he was all nervous. I'm like, and that's how it goes for everybody, right?
Nervous and excited.
Nervous and excited. It's hard because one's a good positive feeling, one's not a positive.
I didn't have to go through that.
Yeah, and it's impossible for people who go through this process, once every 10 years to have a full understanding of every aspect of that. And as you know, uncertainty and stress comes with naivete and lack of comfortability with the process. And they can only, as much as we try to keep everybody informed and make everybody feel comfortable, we can't tell them everything and we can't explain everything. So that's where that stress comes from. Just a fear of the unknown,
Now, Mike, you've been on the show quite a bit. You've never seen one of Don's people come on and say, Don is great. He makes it super easy. Have you?
I think we see that just about every week for Don.
God dang it. Jeremy, listen, buddy. That's how it goes.
Mike doing dimes.
I'm telling you, dropping dimes. So, doing dimes.
Doing dimes.
Dude, that's like a drunk thing. Don's been in the drunk culture all day today. He's been talking that snack all day today. So
dimes, nickels, quarters, whatever I can get, man.
Jeremy's a former student, right?
Thanks, Mike.
And they're buying from a former student of mine. Andy Cassisi is a former football player of mine. And so it's student to student. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever had that yet. So it's a pretty cool thing. So, Michael, tell us some mortgage stuff. Give us some mortgage action.
Recently, FHA made a change where in the past, if, let's say you have $25,000 in student loans, and even if it's in deferment, like you're still in school or it's not in repayment or it's in income-driven repayment, we've always had to count that balance against you as 1%. So if you had $25,000 in student loans, even if you only made a $50 monthly payment, that's all they required, we would always have to count that against you as 1% of the balance, so $250 per month. So in the past, that can affect affordability because maybe student loans could be the reason why you can't afford the house you want. Well, a recent change has now cut that in half. We now only have to count it as a 0.5% against you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not bad. That is huge.
It's huge news.
You ain't kidding.
Like I said, dropping dimes, snorting quarters, whatever I need to do.
Wow. Man, it's getting rough in here. So
what was it, doing dimes?
Yeah. So somebody
doing dimes, doing
in
nickels,
the comments,
pennies.
you guys are trying to push me out. Listen, I weigh as much as both these two people here, so they ain't pushing me anywhere. They have it's like a sumo wrestling match, all right?
What are we talking about?
Somebody said they're trying to push you out, Scott. You see that?
Oh.
We can do that. If we get to see you in a giant diaper, Scott, I'm all for it.
Wow, Michael. Wow, that is something else. Dropping dimes. Yeah.
Kate Cunningham over here.
I think Don would have smoked a dime before he got here today because he's been loopy all day today.
Mike, do they make diapers that big?
Yes, they do.
All right.
Have you seen these sumo guys? Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
That's true.
See?
That's true. Good one, Mike.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Attaboy, got my back. I love it.
So, going why I'm a little like this today is that I had this closing today that's fire. You have these closings that are just, you want to pull your hair out. I don't do it. Reason being, but
now he's after you, Michael. You got to see how fast he turned on you.
He's got too much hair to be bragging about pulling his hair out.
Yeah, absolutely, he does.
So, anyways, it's one of those you get it over with. Seller's happy, ecstatic, and you're moving on. And so it's just one of those that just lingers for so long that exactly how I feel.
Well, so Michael, you know
so.
this that there's some that you got to pick this thing up, put it on your shoulders, and carry it to the finish line.
Absolutely.
And you don't tell the buyer seller that.
Right.
You just go, hey, that's how it is.
Sometimes you can see the challenges. Sometimes when you're right up front, you can see what the challenges are going to be, and you can address those and do the old ounce of prevention for a pound of cure. But other times, the challenges just pop up whenever they see fit. And you got to tackle them, and you got to get the best outcome for your client.
Yeah. So, Michael, what is your favorite ride at Cedar Point?
There's two. I would put them as a tie at the Val Raven and the new one this year, the Maverick. They also have a really great one called the Steel Vengeance. But like I said, that's actually the one I rode it the one time. It's actually a little bit too much for me with that, but a phenomenal. If I were 20 years younger, I probably would still be on that ride.
Hey, Mike. So just to go back to the major point of this whole having you on today was about the new FHA guideline change, and just curious, just in one or two sentences, how big is that new change on the student debt? The way they're calculating the debt on a monthly payment. Explain a little bit. If you could put in a couple sentences.
Yeah, it's huge, and this is a big one. FHA loans for down payment assistance as well. That's a big piece of the MSHDA program, Michigan State Housing Development Authority, for down payment assistance. FHA is a great product for that, and a lot of these people who are recently out of college, maybe just a couple years into their career, they can carry a pretty high student loan burden, anywhere from, I would say on the average, if somebody has student loans, they at least have 20,000, and then upwards of maybe 100,000. So
yeah, perfect. So let's go with that $20,000. How much more buying power do they have with that
20.
reduction from can you put a number on it?
Yeah, you actually can. Coincidentally, if you think about a mortgage, and I always say at $5 per thousand on a mortgage, so $20,000 in mortgage would be $100 in a monthly payment. So if you have a $20,000 student loan, where in the past we would have to count that as a $200 monthly payment, 1%. Now we only have to count it. So it's actually a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
$20,000, you can now afford $20,000 more home because that's $100 a month payment. So it's
Pretty slick.
Yeah.
20 to 20. Yep.
That's great. That's
pretty
great
slick.
news.
That's good stuff.
Good
Are there
news.
any more dimes you want to drop on us?
Nothing I can think of right now. I got to save them up. I can't use them all up this week.
All right, Mike.
Any dimes to offer Don here?
Don's had plenty of dimes. You don't have to worry about Don.
Some dimes.
All right, listen, Mr. Cedar Point, we will check you later, brother. Be good.
Get to the point, guys. Get to the point.
Damn right, get to the point. So, when do you get to the damn point? When does that happen?
Sometimes it's around.
I know it is.
It's a
Chairman
circuit.
Blasky, good to see you, my friend.
I didn't even hear those rides.
It's a circuitous route.
Yeah, it is. All right, so Don and I were talking about this thing, and it's very
Hey,
appropriate.
Steve Kreitz is not up here. What's up,
It's right there, Facebook user. I guarantee it's Facebook user.
Steve? Are you
There,
out
Lisa
there?
Boyce.
Hey.
Give you a little.
Aw, thank you, Lisa.
There you go. So something Don and I were talking about that's relatively timely is stuff you don't think about when you're closing on a home, and we mean it in a very specific way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna run through a list of things you swear jar. God dang it, John Benker. Guy's got nothing better to do, man. Come on, swear jar. You know better than that. That's how I speak.
Way to keep him on his toes.
Yeah, he does.
John.
John's always on my case. He won't let rest. So we were thinking about things, especially with a lot of you folks. Hopefully everybody's got power in that. But that was kind of a debacle, right? There's all kinds of things that have happened this summer and this spring that brought us to this topic. Yeah.
Yeah. Just things that we wanted to be timely, and at this stage of the summer that we've had, 2 or 3 heavy rains.
Yep.
We've had couple power outages in certain areas. Speaking of which, I know a guy where I work out at. There's a guy that works for DTE. I was talking to him a couple of days ago, and he was talking about when there's 250,000, approximately 250,000 homes out. They pull from the region of the states, Ohio,
Really? Other states?
Indiana, to come in and help get the power restored.
Yeah.
This last storm, there were 500,000 homes out, and they couldn't pull any more people in. That's why it has taken so long to clear this up. Is because they can't draw any more contractors or additional help. Right, additional help. Perfect way to put it, from these states, because they're already maxed out. So that's one of the reasons why it's gone so long. 4 or 5 days. My son's girlfriends, I think they were out 4 or 5 days. I don't even know if they're on yet.
Well, so one of the things you don't think about, Don, is should you get a generator with your house, right? I would say that. I was talking to somebody else the other day, and the guy goes, "You guys should talk about generators," and it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
People are like 6 days, man. That's a long time.
And people, when this happens, they go out, try to buy one, they're gone.
Yep.
There's no, so you
Or
have to
they're
do
price
it,
gouging.
and that's how, or that. So I bought one years ago,
Oh.
and I went during this one was going on, couldn't buy one, and I said as soon as this is over and they get restocked, I'm gonna go buy one, and I did. And
A
I've had it
gas
since.
one?
Yeah.
Well,
Portable.
so
The
okay,
ones that you
and on
have
that,
installed in your
Portable.
house.
right, and so on that tip, what'd you pay?
That one was about $500.
So
So
gas
it's
one,
portable.
will it run your house pretty much?
Most of the important things, you'd have to change it if you wanted air conditioning or heat or
Okay.
the refrigerator you want. That's the biggest thing is your food and
Right.
staying comfortable.
Especially
Right.
if you have
If you
three
had to throw away
refrigerators.
one thing of food,
Yeah.
I thought they did built-in generators. Huh? They do. Janine, explain. I'm not sure what you're saying there, kiddo. Generators are great as long as the gas stations have power to their pumps.
Absolutely.
Right, Jimmy, a good idea. So, or if you have like a built-in one. Built-in ones are expensive as all hell. I know that.
So I kind of price those out a little bit. And it's about for one that's stationary on the property and they use natural gas or propane is about $3,000 to $10,000. $3,000 for the unit.
So you're still using
more.
gas, so you still got to pour
You're
gas.
using natural gas.
And you have to
Oh,
pay
wow.
Natural
monthly
gas.
on it. There's a monthly fee that you have to pay for that too, right?
Not that I'm
For
aware
the
of.
generator?
No, I
No,
don't
no.
think so.
You purchase the generator.
But I guess my
yourself.
point is,
And it can power the whole house though.
Yeah.
And it doesn't skip a beat. Power goes out, this thing comes on, and you don't even know. You'll probably hear it going. That's the only reason why you might know.
so
power's
to
on.
decrease the suckiness in a house, better to get a generator.
Absolutely.
So that's one.
I
So that's
think
for, and again, guys, we're just trying to address stuff they have in the summer. It's like, what the heck? How come this is happening all the time?
And
So-
portable one for a few $100s will work. Going back to that question, that statement about the gas, you could always, if your car has gas, you can take it out of your car to gas station if you have the right hose and all that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, no, I get it. But Jim's definitely, he's
That's
a
a good
survival
point.
guy. So he
Yeah,
doesn't mess around.
He's right. That's a very good point. If the gas stations don't have power, what do? You need gas somehow. They need power to get the gas out of the ground.
So listen to this. Janine McKay says hybrid F-150s now have generators on board for powering where electricity is needed. That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, that is.
That's
I'd like to
interesting.
know more about that.
Yeah. So if you got more, let us know.
Great tip. So going back on that, you brought this one up, which I thought was very interesting. Roads that flood.
Right. So
Highways and roads that
I
flood.
don't know what's
Do you
going
wanna
on
live-
different.
Do you want to live near that?
right. I don't know what's going on different, but I can tell you right now, 94, the last two big storms we had, it's been flooded.
And shut down.
Southfield freaking Battle Drive is always underwater.
Yeah.
Like the last 3 times this summer,
Yeah.
it's blocked off. So thinking about things like how are you going to get to where you got to go, like to work? Are there areas that flood a lot?
Right.
I never thought of that before. It seems like this is the summer where something is going different, pumps or whatever, where major arteries to go places are blocked up.
Yep.
You know,
We're
I
seeing
didn't
it
hear
more.
about it much on 75. I don't think. 96, I don't know. You guys know 96? Anybody in the audience know anything about any of the freeways? Because I know 94, the first flooding thing that happened in the freeways, you couldn't get down it.
Yeah, Michigan Avenue on East Dearborn. East Dearborn.
Well, like South and Our Drive, you
Yeah.
couldn't get down there. I mean, so it's
Yeah.
like one of those things. It's like, do you have a way to get to work during a storm? I mean, I never would have thought of that before the
See?
summer. Never.
Or get home.
Maintenance plan, that's what I was talking about.
I also come with a maintenance plan. Okay.
You have to
Okay.
pay
Well,
for
see, we
that.
don't know that. We didn't know
Yeah.
that.
And Kathy, I know. I grew up in the South Heights. I know what you mean. I mean, Dearborn Heights floods even when it just rains a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is sucks. It sucks. It drives me crazy.
So
So there are two things.
So
Power out, flooding. What else?
So another one in that with the flooding on the roads is streams and tributaries going to streams and rivers that might be near the house. You want to keep an eye on that because that's where those overflow and then it goes over the banks and then it ends up in your backyard or
Right. So like in the
certain
South
areas,
Heights,
even
right?
higher-
It goes
yes.
all along near Van Born,
Yeah.
all the way down near to south of that way, right? And then other like when it gets on the Wyandotte, it turns into an actual river tributary. But it's just like don't get near that.
Yeah.
Like, do you really want to be how? It's like I used to have a rule, Don. I used to have a rule where if you were on Dartmouth or Carlisle or further north, you were okay, but not even more anymore.
Yeah.
Just like living in Florida.
What?
Why are you moving to Florida when you have to board up your house every summer?
Yeah, I know, but I just it feels like that never happened before,
Well-
right?
Okay,
Move north, Jim. Move north.
That's right.
So you have another. You said of another one. Trees. Why don't you?
Well, so okay.
Oh,
Think
not
about trees. Like people people look at trees for roots to get into their sewers and stuff, right?
Mhm.
But I heard, this is what I heard, DT was cutting down trees everywhere,
Yep.
Yeah.
right? So it's either that wasn't happening on a regular basis, which I'm not saying it was or wasn't, but that's something, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like trees, like how big the branches are. You don't want that falling down your stuff. I found when I was driving last Friday, was that what it was?
Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday last week? That last big storm we had?
Yeah, I think in the
Yeah, so
Thursday
I was
morning,
driving down
yeah.
the road, down Meridian Road on the island, and like 3 or 4 big trees were blocking half the road up.
Whose responsibility is that? Like in
The
your
township, I think.
Crosses the street.
I don't know if I got a
see
truck and
a
I got some cables. I'm gonna pull it off myself.
Well, I see a lot of trees that are like not trimmed. I mean, just on your regular property.
But I used to
Don't take
never,
care of
I
their
never
own
used to
trees.
think about that with even with buyers. I'd be like, that's a pretty sturdy tree, but now it's like you don't know anymore.
Yeah.
It's like the
You
summer
gotta look at the
weirdness.
direction of how
Right,
it's growing.
it is. It's like you gotta look at
Growing
the, you gotta look at the
property.
like my old house. I'm surprised I didn't hear about that caving in there because that's a big tree in my own backyard. You know, it's something that people would ask, "Well, you worry about this tree?" Go, no, I'm not. Now you do.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, it's just weird. It's a weird summer.
Hey, so to button this one up here, here's one this is a little unusual one. It's not part of flooding and that sort of stuff, but customer, the Wolkowitzes came up with this one when I saw them
Kathy
at the
Tom?
party. Yes,
Okay.
Hollywood.
Hollywood Wilkowitz.
Hollywood.
Where's Hollywood Wilkowitz at? God
And,
dang it. I think that's exact.
I think I may have mentioned this before, but he used screens when they bought their house in the fall. What was it, the fall?
Yeah.
In the fall or something like that, maybe winter. You're not looking at screens, and during the spring when they wanted to open their windows, they went to go look for screens. There were only a few of them, so they were missing a lot of them, and they thought it would have been nice to think about that, to have enough for each window. And I think you learn from other people's experience, and so I thought it was a really wise, wise one.
And again,
to think
it's
about.
things you
So
don't think about.
that.
Right.
Who cares about a screen? But when you have to make them, I made screens before when I flip houses. It's not fun, and
No, it's
they don't look the same.
You
as
made screens?
Yeah, you can make screens. Yeah.
Yeah, Amish or something?
I had to do what I had to do to sell the house, so I did it.
I made some screens.
I made screens. We had to.
All right,
The
so a
city-
couple
the city
quick comments here,
required them.
Don.
For me to sell the house, the city required
Kathy Cordy
them.
says it probably depends on where the tree is, who's responsible. We had to cut our big one in back, so somebody says it probably depends on who it is. Chris Bergeron said the way they cut the trees is ridiculous. There's some on Leah that they cut half the tree down. It's
Yeah.
over the road, so I expect those to come down on the road soon. Yeah, it is definitely. It depends on where it's at. I agree.
So really to sum this whole thing up, we're going to have to deal with this, I think, for a long time.
Yeah.
So we figure ways to deal with it and move on with it. So,
But it's just down again, though, especially with the flooding part. Like that, it wasn't common. Even like Dearborn Heights had flood. Okay, I know that. But like all the freeways weren't flooding all
Right.
the time. That's
right,
like a new thing.
Right, exactly what's going on. It's just
Like it's just like a weird, like something's not the same.
There's just so much rain in such a short period of time. You can't pump it all out, apparently.
I guess.
All right, enough of that.
So
Let's
things
move on.
that you don't think about. That's what we're calling that one, guys. All right. So you want to talk about what realtors see? We got about 5 minutes.
Well,
We want to talk about the
let's go
market a
with this.
little
So rising prices, the reason for the slowdown in the market at this time is the lack of supply of homes available for sale. And why is that?
It was.
You mean
Right.
there aren't there a lot of listings? I thought there were.
There are, but what's this? Well, the sales, the number of listings have increased,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's that great of a deal, difference. Do you find?
Well,
that?
so here's what I would tell you. Here's a floodgate. That's funny. Something has changed. People are all fired up about that. So I'll put it this way to you. So the amount of buyers has not lessened. Okay, the demand is still out. There's tons and tons of
They're being
demand
more
still.
selective.
Right.
Well, there's just a lot of buyers out there. Okay, but if I have one home out there and 5 people are fighting for it, it's different than I have 2 homes that people are fighting for. So the time on market's about doubled. So instead of it being 4 days, now it's like 8 days, right? But it's only, I mean, even if it lists
That's
as
not a lot
double,
of time.
No.
That's not equilibrium. So
no,
yeah.
every house I put out there except for
Right.
one
Right.
has had multiple offers in 3 days.
So going down this road about this and pricing and supply and demand, the affordability of homes right now, it's more affordable. It's a little bit less affordable than it was last year
Mhm.
because of inflation. but it's homes are more affordable now than they were in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and going into the 2000s.
Yeah,
so
I would agree with
still,
It's still a good
still
time to buy.
affordable.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Even more so than the last 40 years.
Yeah, and you're starting to see we were talking about this today. You're starting to see the $20,000 and $30,000 appraisal gap coverage stuff that's starting to disappear.
Yes, yeah.
You're starting to
For
see
the most
half
part,
of it, like 15, 10.
or sometimes
So-
none at all.
Are sellers raising their prices of their homes?
No, I mean,
Like who
Pe-
decides?
people are coming out going, you should sell. It's a great time. But now they're getting in now, and it's not as red hot as it was 3 months ago.
Right.
But it's still, if you put in a good price, people are going
How do you
to.
determine that?
You look and see what the market's at. You put it at market value, and you're still getting over. That's still happening. So Tracy Schultz says it's the amount of rain that comes down in a short amount of time that causes the flooding. See, he believes that Don Lawrence knows. He's agreeing with you, Don.
Thank you, Tracy.
I think Tracy's a great guy, so I'll let him slide on this one, agreeing with you this one time.
Tracy,
He bought a great house,
Tracy
man.
dropping dimes.
He bought a great house, too. Absolutely. That guy,
Not doing dimes.
Big
dropping
ass
dimes.
yeah, dropping big ass water slide. All right, guys. So this episode's version of What Realtors See is sponsored by Big Ass Water Slides. So here it is. This one came from Mel. Make it as big as you can, my dear. So it's a wine cellar under the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Don and I put out something together the other day about different ways to use this space. How many Harry Potter references do you think we got?
A lot.
A lot.
Put it out there as a
Yeah.
Harry Potter reference.
But
I thought it was funny.
Definitely a
It was
cool
good.
way to keep the space. I don't know how you deal with the humidity or the temperature for wine. I don't know.
I
Oh,
gotta
there's
think-
something inside there.
Yeah, I gotta
Same
think
thing
so.
like a humidor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But definitely a cool thing. So
Yep.
wondering from the crowd, the folks watching, what do you do with the space under your stairs? We'd love to hear what you have to say on that. What do you do with the space underneath your stairs?
Do you put your wine there?
Go back.
How do you do
Go back to our picture.
Here?
Yep, click on that.
Go-
Stop sharing.
Go over there live over there.
There
You
we
got
go.
to make that bigger.
that?
That's all right. Don't worry. So what do you put underneath your stairs? What do you put underneath your stairs? That's what we're wondering, ladies and gentlemen. We would love to know that one. Nope, don't do that. So that's kind of what we're figuring out. I don't know. Where it says live. Don't worry about it. So Don, any words of wisdom for the folks at home?
I don't know. Drop some times.
Trust.
Do some times.
Guy's killing me. Got one line. He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's walking around saying that, doing dimes.
Do
Everybody knows.
dimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you this, and this is something that Don and I, because we talk every day. His office is right next to mine. It still is a great time to buy and sell it. Definitely, that is the truth. You just got to be smart about it, whether on one side or the other. That I'm still busy. You still busy?
Yep.
We talked about this. That we're talking, and I think I said this before. Late July, early August, people are doing their last vacations. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
September,
Yep.
Kids are already going
September,
to
October, November. I know September, October, November is going to be busy. I'm telling you right now.
I agree. I think as soon as people go back to school and they get their feet under them, it's going to pick up again.
Yeah, I think it's going to be jamming again. I mean, and it's going pretty good now, but it's going to be jamming. Like, so if you're thinking about buying or selling September, November, December, October, November, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
December gets cold.
And I think this is a thing for buyers to take with them is that, earlier this year you had to, you maybe gotten out of your 20 boxes you wanted to check maybe 4 or 5 things that you really, really wanted. Now you can be pickier and get at least half of those things that you really want on your checklist.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
Absolutely.
So it's things that are turning a little bit so far. We'll see what happens in September, October, November.
Yeah. And Don, something else I want to preface for folks that are still hanging with us. Don and I are already starting to think about, don't do that. So we're already starting to think about, the October pumpkin carving contest.
Yes.
Carving challenge.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. Pumpkin challenge is going to be ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. We're hoping, I think last year we had like 100, 110, 120 people.
I don't know. We had a lot.
Yeah. So we're probably trying to break like 200 this year.
That was our first event thing that we did.
Yeah.
And the turnout and the response was awesome on it.
So I know I'm not trying to chase Summerway. I promise. I'm not trying to chase Summerway. But know that we're going to do Pumpkin Challenge 2021. We're going to make that happen. You better do a good pumpkin too, Mel.
I can do a good pumpkin.
You sure?
Mhm.
What are you going to do? Well, don't tell me. I don't know. Jeez. mess up the whole thing. Don, you gonna do
I
a
sent you a
pumpkin?
picture
Yeah,
of one I did.
I did one
a
last
couple
year.
years
Yeah.
ago.
All
I
right.
did one last year.
All right. So guys, keep that in mind. We're gonna do pumpkin
All
challenge.
right.
That's gonna happen.
All right, Scott's putting summer in his back pocket, so we can move on to the
Yes,
fall.
we
Is that what
are.
You're saying
I love
I am.
I'm gonna enjoy
Fall's
the
my
rest of
favorite.
this. I'm enjoying summer right now.
You want to know
so-
really? You want to know really? I love spring and fall. I love spring
I do
and fall.
too.
I love fall too.
Summer's too damn hot. I'm a big guy, man. I sweat. I'm hairy. It's how it goes. I mean, it's too hot for me, man.
TMI.
Yes, it is. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm Scott,
I'm Don.
I'm Mel.
and we're talking real estate. See ya.